Pat Brown, criminal profiler and author of the Profiler, My Life Hunting Serial Killers and Psychopaths, is also with us. Good morning to you both.
Morning, Lester.
Good morning.
Dan, let me begin with you. If you're the Peruvian authorities, do you shut out what happened in Aruba, or is that color your investigation here?
In theory, you're supposed to be investigating this case, but in reality, you have to look at the totality of everything that you know. As an investigator, you want as much information as humanly possible. The real issue is going to be, do these cases ever intersect, right? And I think that the only way you're going to be able to connect one to the other is if Joran is talking. I was amazed to hear in Michelle's report, she said that he's already admitting that he met her, but denying that he had anything to do with her killing.
So where we heard that before?
Well, no, that's right, but that means he's talking. I mean, that's the thing. I'm amazed that after everything he's been through, he's still talking to the authorities. And I think that that's where you might ultimately be able to link these two cases, is if he keeps talking, if he says enough, and if he says something that's finally useful, they may be able to bring that back.
Let me get your thoughts on what Joe Tacopina, Vandersloot's former attorney, said. He said that Joran has been falsely accused of murder once, and he wears a bullseye on his back. Is that a fair assessment?
I mean, you know, it's a little bit absurd. I mean, on the one hand, love Joe Tacopina, but the reality is that this woman was found dead in a hotel room registered to Joran Vandersloot. So it's not as if they just said, oh, you know what, let's look for someone here. Let's find someone who might be responsible. Remember that Vandersloot kid? He might be a good suspect. She was found dead in his hotel room. He then fled. So it's not just a random finding that they found him. Doesn't mean that he's necessarily guilty in this case, but to suggest that somehow he just has a bullseye on his back, I think doesn't do the investigation justice.
And Pat, let me turn to you. There's a warrant that's been issued for Vandersloot in Alabama on charges he's tried to extort $250,000 from Natalie Holloway's mother, basically saying, I can tell you where your daughter's body is covered. Here's a guy who has talked about various scenarios of what happened to Natalie. Now he's apparently talking to authorities in Peru. Why doesn't he keep his mouth shut?
Well, Lester, Joran Vandersloot is an opportunist. Anything he can do and can get over on somebody, if he can make some money, if he can have some fun, if he can manipulate people, he enjoys doing that. He is a classic psychopath. And I'm not surprised a bit that he would do that. After all, he's told so many stupid stories. One more stupid story isn't going to hurt him any at all. And when it comes down to him talking right now, he's doing what, again, most psychopaths do when they're caught. They tell you what you already know. Joran Vandersloot knows that they saw him leaving the casino with the girl on a videotape. So it's no big deal for him to say, of course I was with her. Look, I'm a cooperative guy. I'll tell you the truth. Of course I was with her. But I didn't kill her. So they'll tell you what you know, and they'll lie about what you don't know. Yeah,
there's no signs of sexual assault against the victim in Peru, Stephanie Flores, but her neck was broken. What does this tell you about the nature of the encounter with whoever the killer was? Yeah,
well, Lester, you know, Joran Vandersloot is what I believe to be a serial date rapist. Some people think he's a serial killer, but he does not exhibit serial killer kinds of behavior. Serial killers want to kill. That's their whole point. They rape on the way to killing.
But again, there was no evidence of sexual assault in this case.
Exactly. Well, that isn't even anything to do with it. He is still a serial date rapist. What he likes to do is take women, and he likes to control them and have power over them. He gives them alcohol, drugs, whatever he's going to do, so he can have his way with them. If they do it and don't object to it, then they just have sex with him. If they don't want to do it and they're too drugged out, he'll just rape them probably. But if they object to him, and this is what I think happened with Natalie, she didn't want to go along with him. So just like a domestic abuser, he got ticked off because this girl said no. She stood up to him, and he became violent and went into a rage and killed her. Now this new girl, Stephanie, there wasn't a sexual assault that we know of. He may have tried to sexually assault her. He may have tried to steal her money. He may have just gotten angry at her because she just was standing up to him about anything, and the rage came out. So I don't think we have a serial killer who plans to abduct women, rape and kill them. I think we have a serial date rapist who loses it when these women don't go along with what Joran Vandersloot wants, because he thinks he should get everything. He thinks he's entitled.
We certainly all hope, and certainly the families hope, the truth all comes out of this. Pat Brown, Dan Abrams, thanks to both of you for being part of the discussion.
Thanks, Lester.